Hey everyone. Okay, so in this video, let's talk some more Marvel Land. Now, these are just rumors at this point. Nothing has been confirmed, but Jim Hill, who's been a veteran of the Disney online community for years, tweeted out some really interesting things the other day that I want to share with you guys. So let's go ahead and dig right in, and we're going to analyze all of it. So the first couple of tweets from Jim Hill says the proposed DCA reimagining expansion has to be just as big in scale and just as immersive an experience as the wandering back alleys of Batuu, which is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, by the way, will be. I've heard that everything except Mission Breakout is in play when it comes to the Hollywood backlot. We're talking about things that I never thought would be removed from the park, like the Hyperion Theater with its 1,984 seats now being up for grabs, all because Bob Chapek wants this side of DCA to ultimately become, for Marvel, what Disneyland's new Batuu area will be. Okay, this is massive news. This is massive news. If this is true, that means that Disney sees Marvel Land as an equivalent to Galaxy's Edge. Okay, now I've reported on a lot of my videos in the past. I think Marvel Land will be a significant area. I do. I think it's going to be very well done. I always thought it would be maybe on par with, like a Cars Land. But according to Jim Hill, it's going to be on par with Galaxy's Edge. That's massive news. Massive news. And the other interesting bit of information that he mentioned in there was that everything in the backlot is up for grabs. That essentially the entire backlot is expendable except for Mission Breakout. Now, that's not too surprising when it comes to, like he mentioned, the Hyperion Theater. And I would even include the animation building in Hollywood because of the location of where it sits. That building is massive. It's essentially become just a lounge for people to sit when it's hot. It doesn't provide much in return for Disney. So I can definitely see that massive building being used for something else. And the other side, it butts up right up against the courtyard for Breakout. So you could put a massive attraction in there and the entrance can just be on the Breakout side. Okay, so massive potential for that building. The Hyperion, again, a massive piece of property. That's a little more surprising though, because they just opened that Frozen show, which has been very popular, and Frozen's a beast. I mean, massively one of Disney's most popular franchises. So that's a little more surprising. But the fact that he said everything is on the table for Hollywood Land, whoa, massive news. So let's continue. So he goes on to say, the Spider-Man pendulum-based thrill ride is really just the start of a truly super celebration of superheroes that's supposed to be up and running inside DCA well ahead of the Disneyland Resort's 70th anniversary. Just so you know, the current thinking is that if we want to see this anytime soon, they have to break ground. The transformation should start in September after A Bug's Land closes in the summertime. That entire area has to be leveled and then regraded before construction of DCA's new Spider-Man attraction can get underway. So this is, again, another bit of interesting news. There's been some worry on the online community that Disney is just going to kind of dress up Tough to Be a Bug and maybe turn it into an Ant-Man ride, or maybe even turn it into another 3D style attraction with minimal effort, more like an overlay. Well, according to Jim Hill, that's not the case. Come the end of summer, early fall, maybe like after Labor Day, Disney's going in there with bulldozers. They're going to level the entire area and start from scratch to build this new Spider-Man ride. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys remember, but a few months back, Jim Hill said, the pendulum-based Spider-Man ride. Well, a few months back, there was a patent that was filed for a new ride technology, and it was basically like a Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey upside down. So instead of the arm kind of traveling around the track on the ground, it comes from the ceiling, and the arm, you kind of go through the scenes like that. You kind of dangle. Okay, so that's basically what the patent was, and that's what he's referring to. That's what he's saying is going to replace Tough to Be a Bug. that's where that attraction is going to be put. So again, big news, very, very exciting. And he goes on to say more. He goes on to say, I've heard that Hong Kong's Ant-Man and the Wasp shooter may also be headed to Anaheim as part of the Marvel makeover of DCA's Hollywood backlot. Likewise, Hong Kong's Iron Man experience. Walt Disney Imagineering wants to give people who can't get into Disneyland due to Galaxy's Edge capacity something to do. The Ant-Man attraction that's being built in Hong Kong is making use of that theme park's Space Ranger Spin already in place ride system and interactive technology. The Anaheim version would reportedly repurpose the Buzz ride system by moving it over from Disneyland to DCA. Now, this bit of information is really something else. Now, basically what Jim Hill is saying is that we're going to get the Iron Man experience that Hong Kong has, which is essentially Star Tours, okay? Then we're also going to get the new Ant-Man ride, which is a shooter ride similar to Buzz Lightyear. Okay, now this is interesting on a lot of levels. It's interesting for both parks. It's interesting for California Adventure because we're getting a whole lot more Marvel than I expected. I mean, we're getting, if this is true, we're getting the Avengers ride that they talked about last summer at D23. We're getting the Spider-Man ride. We're also getting Ant-Man and an Iron Man attraction. This is a lot of stuff, a lot. But aside from that, it means a lot. It kind of gives us a hint as to Disney's thinking for Disneyland and Tomorrowland. If we're getting the Iron Man experience, which is the same as Star Tours, so we'll probably, like I mentioned in another video, they're probably going to reutilize those simulators from Star Tours and move them to DCA. Buzz Lightyear, which is right across the way from Star Tours, if this is true, would be closing, and that ride system would be moving to DCA. What does this mean? Well, for me, it shows signs of Disney clearing out Tomorrowland in preparation to revamp that entire area. That's what that shows to me. Okay, if this rumor is true, and again, these are just rumors, but if those rumors are true, it sounds like Disney, in a very smart way, is taking what they can and moving it to DCA so they have basically a blank canvas to work with in Tomorrowland. So big, big news for both parks. This is incredible. Now, again, I want to really emphasize, these are just rumors. Some of this, none of this, all of this might occur. We don't know, but it's interesting and I really wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. But what do you guys think about all the stuff that Jim Hill talked about? Do you think this is going to happen? Do you think it's pie in the sky, crazy, never going to happen? What are your thoughts on this? I would love to hear from you guys. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I do content on Disney all the time. If you're on Twitter, follow me at OrangeGrow55. And as always, have a marvelous day.